If you like to make your NFL games a little bit more interesting, you've come to the right place. It's the Even Money Podcast with Ross Tucker and Steve Fezzik.
Yeah, Vegas, baby, Vegas. It is the Even Money Podcast. We are, of course, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm Ross Tucker, former NFL offensive lineman, 5 teams, 7 years. Most of you know that. I get a chance to call games for CBS and Westwood One Radio. This week I've got Cardinals Patriots for CBS on Sunday. Very much looking forward to that one. Got a host of podcasts. The Ross Tucker Football Podcast is daily, 25 minutes, your daily dose. All you need to know about what's going on in the NFL. If you like prop betting, I highly recommend the Fantasy Feast podcast. If you like betting on college football, I highly recommend the College Draft podcast. You can check me out on social. Check us out at Ross Tucker Pod. I'm at Ross Tucker NFL. He is at Fezzik Sports. We both had another winning week this week. So if you want to make sure you can see this incredible spreadsheet from our buddy Sean Grady, aka Grades from Australia, make sure you become a member of our Patreon, patreon.com/RTmedia. Become a Tuckheads member. See all the bets in black and white. Nick Burns, Nick Marce, Phil Searley, Eric Gloniak, just a few of the latest patrons. Patreon.com/RTmedia. Steve, I was so close to having a glorious 5-unit week. And I was up 5-unit week. I was very excited. I had the Cowboys plus 5.5 last night. They're getting the ball with a minute left in a tie game. What do you think the odds are, Steve? That I'm getting 5.5 points. They forced the Bengals to punt with a minute left in the game and it's tied. What are the odds that I would lose that bet at that point?
Oh, about 5%. Hey, are you young enough that you don't know about Let It Be, Leon Lett? Thanksgiving
I know Leon
Day.
Lett.
Yeah, so Leon Lett famously tried to recover a blocked field goal. The Cowboys had won the game, and he muffed it, and they lost in similar fashion in the early 90s. Yes, sir.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm Armani Oruwariye, Penn State guy, got me. I mean, the Cowboys were already going to be in field goal range. It's like maddening. And then they give up a touchdown to Jamar Chase, a touchdown. Anyway, we got to get to our picks. Oh, here's what we do every week, okay? We make sure you know how we did the week before. I was up 1 unit. Steve was up 3 units. We were 2-1 on our best bets. 2-0 with the lines, ATS, 0-1 on the totals. So for the year, I'm up 31 units. Steve is up 29.5 units. And we are 58, 42, and 3 on our collective best bets. That's a strike rate of 56%. Steve, before we find out how many best bets we have this week, I got the best bet of the week. It's westshorehome.com/Ross. They're giving you their biggest discount of the year, 25% off the entire project. I love when you can get a discount like this, and I love getting a gift that you know your wife will love. How about a new shower? How about a new bathroom remodel? I didn't even know how awesome having a new door could be until you get them. First of all, they look awesome. There's less noise coming in, less air coming through, so you got the energy savings. It's incredible. You can see what it looks like if you go to westshorehome.com/Ross. That's where they have the before and after pictures. So love the free installation, love all the deals. 25% off the entire project is just insane. westshorehome.com/Ross. westshorehome.com/Ross. The other thing I'm a fan of, Steve, food. Whether you're craving hearty comfort food, trying to please picky eaters, HelloFresh. I can't remember the name of the last meal I just had. It was delicious. It was like their sausage and pasta. I don't know the official name. Absolutely delicious. You can get 10 free meals at HelloFresh.com/free even money. It's applied across 7 boxes, new subscribers only, varies by plan. That's 10 free HelloFresh meals. Just go to HelloFresh.com/free even money. The key is it's healthy, it's quick, it's nutritious. They already have it portioned out for when you're cooking it, which makes it a million times easier. HelloFresh.com/free even money. Our best bet of the week, Steve, our crowning moment presented by DraftKings. Guess what? It was the first game, Thursday night. You and I both liked the Packers getting the 3.5 points. We both put 2 units on it for a best bet, and the game kind of unfolded similarly to how we thought, as the Lions ended up winning by a field goal, which was just fine with us. Crowning moments presented by DraftKings. Submit your winning bets for a chance to be featured. DraftKings, the crown is yours. It was a good start to the week, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just needed to stop one of the 5 fourth down conversions, and we did. So, by the way, I'm fine with Dan Campbell going for it as he did on each and every one of them. Green Bay did win the yards per play. This is why we do the show early in the week. We caught the plus 3.5 on a game that closed 3 late, and that got us the win.
Wow, that is huge. So that's I'm glad you referenced that, because that makes me feel better about the times where we get a raw deal because the quarterback's hurt or Purdy doesn't play or whatever. That makes me feel a little bit better. All right, we'll roll through the rest of these. By the way, programming note, we had 0 teasers last week. 0 Wong teasers. So sometimes you guys say, you guys do so many teasers on your show. Well, number 1, they win consistently over time. Number 2, we do them if they're there. You can't make them up. There weren't any to have last week, so we didn't. Panthers, Eagles, you leaned Eagles. I put a unit on the Panthers getting the 12. I actually didn't have closing line value. Money came in on the Eagles, but the Panthers easily could have won that game outright. So that was a unit. Jets, Dolphins, we had nothing. Raiders, Bucks, I leaned to the Raiders getting the 7. Nope. Falcons, Vikings, I leaned to the Falcons getting the 5. Nope. Giants, Saints. The Giants were getting 5. I leaned to Giants. Steve, you put 1 unit on the Giants, and that cash for you. They lost by 3 on a blocked field goal, but you were getting 5 points. Then what about our next lean? Steelers, Browns. We both leaned to the Steelers laying the 6. We chickened out. We didn't want to bet laying the 6, and that would have been a good bet. Jags, Titans. I put 2 units on the Jags getting 3.5. My beloved 3.5. The Jags won outright. Very surprised the Titans played that poorly. And then Seahawks, Cardinals. Man, that was a swing and a miss, Steve. Yeah, I went with you. You talked me into the total on the under 45. That game was fireworks early. I was like, well, that's a loser. At least it was a loser early. I mean, as soon as Kyler threw the 2 picks and the Seahawks scored the 2 touchdowns and it was 17, I was like, well, that's not happening.
Yeah, complete misread. Seattle is better than Arizona, and so I was wrong, and the Arizona defense is not what I thought it was. Hey, Dumbo of the week, poor Ridley. I just can't even understand how, with the game on the line, if you missed it, 3rd and 4, catches a 2-yard pass and quickly runs out of bounds to stop the clock instead of going upfield and getting the first down with the game on the line. Very curious.
Not good. Not good at all. All right, speaking of not good, Bills, Rams. Steve, he does this once or twice a year. Sean McDermott. You can't call a quarterback sneak in that situation. Number 1, you can't call a quarterback sneak. Number 2, if you do, you have to say in the huddle, back-to-back quarterback sneaks. You cannot use the timeout and relegate yourself to having to kick an onside kick. That was brutal by McDermott and the Bills.
But it was brilliant, I agree, but brilliant by McVay recognizing up 3, you don't play for a field goal. We learned that when Arizona lost to Minnesota. You go balls to the wall to get up 2 possessions, and that's why they won the game.
It's so true. It's absolutely so true. That's why they won the game. More people are realizing you don't want to go up 6. Going up 6 is not a good place to be. Chargers was another one of our best bets that cashed. We both took the Chargers getting 4 points because we know how these Chiefs games go. Chiefs win by 2. We win our 2 units. I had the Bears getting 3.5. My beloved 3.5 against the Niners. Holy crap. Bears are bad. Niners smash them. We already talked about the Cowboys last night. Would have been a beautiful 5-unit week for me. We move onward and upward because there are no more buys. And we start, Steve, it's the Rams and the Niners. The Rams are getting 2.5. It's Thursday Night Football. The total is 49.
Yeah, 2 units. I'm laying it. I'm taking the Niners because of the spot here, laying the minus 2.5. So the Niners outgained the Bears 319-4. 4 in the first half. So this was a laugher. They're up 24 points. Very little effort expanded versus a Rams team that had to go all in for 60 minutes to fend off Josh Allen and company. Advantage 49ers. Whether it's going to be raining, going to be in the low 50s. Early in the day, rain might dissipate, but still advantage weather. 49ers. Give me the 49ers 2 units.
Wow. You're not teasing the Rams with me?
No, they're going to get killed.
Wow. Steve, I am teasing the Rams up to 8.5. They always have a puncher's chance with Stafford, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. They always play the Niners tough, too.
And they love kicking. They do love kicking field goals down 10, to be fair. Yes.
All right. Ravens, Giants. The Ravens are laying 15 points. Total's 43.5, Steve.
So I'll lean to the Giants, but I got a miracle against the closing number when Neighbors somehow caught a deflection on a 2-pointer to instead of losing by 5 to lose by 3. My take is when you get a miracle cover with a bad team, don't go to war with them again. I will lean just with the Giants.
Yeah, I'm putting 1 unit on the Giants. It's 15 points. I mean, it's 15 points. The Ravens are an 8-5 team. It's a home game for the Giants. Anyway, that's what I'm doing, 15 points. What about the Commanders and the Saints? The Commanders are laying 7.5 on the road. The total's 43.
Sure, I'll tease Washington, my first teaser leg. Off a bye, good spot. New Orleans, I don't know. Is it going to be Hayner? Probably, right? So I think New Orleans, they're alive mathematically. They know they're donezo. Carr's injured. Tease Washington.
I am teasing Washington as well, down to minus 1.5. I get a little bit nervous about these as a former player, Steve, because sometimes there's a psychological letdown a little bit when you are going against a backup quarterback. And I get a little bit concerned about that. I still think the Commanders find a way to win the game ultimately. So that's my second teaser leg this week. What about the Chiefs? They're laying only 4 on the road against the Browns. Total's 46.
So directionally, I liked Cleveland when they were 6 on the look-ahead line. I just can't do it. I mean, there's a world of difference in terms of the power ratings, and I got Kansas City low, but at that low a number, I can just lean Cleveland.
I'm tempted. I'm very, 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 very tempted because that's how the Chiefs play. I'm going to do it. Only 1 unit, but Cleveland plus the 4, 1 unit. It's in Cleveland. I think this will be like every other game that the Chiefs play. They'll win by a field goal or less. So give me the Browns plus 4, 1 unit. All right. What about the Dolphins? They're plus 3 on the road against the Texans. Total's 47.5.
Why not? Give me the Fish plus the 3. I know they're fortunate to beat the Jets. I have these 2 teams equal on a power rating. Remember, throw those games without Tua early in the year in the garbage can. That's why their record's no good. Should be a very close game. Miami, 2 units.
I'm with you on that. I think this is a toss-up game. I wish I was getting 3.5. I'm not. But in a toss-up game, I'll take the +3. 2 units, Dolphins. That is a best bet.
The best bet.
They are still very much alive, by the way, which I think helps them quite a bit in a game like this against the Texans. At least they think they're alive. Listen, if they get to 10-7, they're going to the playoffs. I'd be surprised if they didn't. So what about the Jets, Jaguars? The Jaguars are getting 3.5 at home. Totals 40.5.
Well, the Jets are not going to the playoffs, and the Jags have a little momentum finally. My power ratings make it 3, and I'm getting that all-important +3.5 against the team. The Jets, you got to question their motivation. Sure, 2 units, Jaguars.
Totally agree. That's another best bet. I don't know why Mac Jones plays better in the second half or fourth quarter than he does earlier in the game. I'm a little bit concerned based on the way I saw Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams carve up the Dolphins, but Jags defense looked pretty good against the Titans. So give me the Jacksonville +3.5. What about the Bengals? They are -4.5 on the road against the Titans. Totals 47.5.
Yeah, so short week for the Bengals, and I know they need the game like blood, but they're still in deep trouble. Tennessee gave away a game they could have won, should have won. I'm going to be on Tennessee, 2 units.
Totally agree. Short week for the Bengals. The Titans, they were embarrassed. You cannot lose to Mac Jones and the Jaguars at home. Now, I thought they were embarrassed the week before by the Commanders, and then they came back and they played that poorly again. But I think this is a close game. I'll be taking the Titans +4.5, 2 units. What about the Steelers and the Eagles? The Steelers are getting 4.5 on the road. Totals 42.5.
So I almost made Philly a best bet. My numbers say so, but Tomlin as a dog has been very good, and all Pittsburgh does is overachieve. Just a lean to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I'll take Pittsburgh +4.5, 2 units. I don't know what's going on with Philly right now. Maybe they'll rally around these comments that multiple of their players are making, A.J. Brown and Brandon Graham, and this could be a rallying cry. They could come out and smash the Steelers, or there could be some real issues there. Pittsburgh +4.5, 2 units, expecting that to be a close game. We got the Colts and the Broncos. The Colts are getting 4 points on the road. Totals 44.5. Very important game for both these teams for their playoff hopes.
Now remember, Indy got the win at New England before their bye, but they got outplayed by New England, so I don't trust them at all. Denver's the better team. I lean Denver.
I would lean Denver as well. I don't like what I'm seeing from the Colts. You know, the problem with Anthony Richardson is he misses too many layups. It makes it really hard. He makes some spectacular plays, but when you don't make the easy plays, put you in a bad spot sometimes. All right, what about the Bucs? They're facing against the Chargers. The total's 46.5. The Bucs are getting 3 points, Steve.
So it's not often you get the better team catching +3 in a venue where the home team has almost no home field edge. That's the case here, and it's a bad spot for the Chargers off their arch rival, the Chiefs. Bucs +3. I'm going to go 3 units.
Wow. Bucs +3, 3 units. I'm not going to go that far, but I will put 2 units on them. I think it's a toss-up game either way. Again, I wish it was 3.5, so I win, but I'll take the push if they only lose by a field goal. Tampa Bay +3, 2 units. Not sure they're the better team. I don't know if I go that far. But the Chargers are banged up, very banged up right now. Dobbins, we'll see if McConkey's back for this one or not. That will be very interesting in that one. What about the Bills and the Lions? Arguably the game of the day, and I know this much because I'm sponsored by Labatt Blue Light. They drink a lot of Labatt Blue Light in both those cities. You should do the same while you're watching the game. Drink some Labatt Blue Lights with your friends. Live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. The Lions are laying 1.5. Totals 54.5, Steve.
We're going to call this the Labatt Bowl because it seems appropriate, and it's going to be a great game. I'll lean over, but I need to tease Washington with somebody, and in a close game with the back door wide open, let's play the Buffalo Bills from +1.5 up to +7.5.
Totally agree. Now, yeah, that's a tough spot for them. Coming back from the West Coast, the Lions played on Thursday, so the Lions had extra time to rest. They got the weekend off, all those things. I don't care. Josh Allen, +7.5. I will take that till the day I die. Over my dead body will Josh Allen not get a backdoor cover late if they're somehow down 2 scores. No chance. In Josh, I trust. So that's my third teaser leg this week. As most of you know that are loyal listeners or viewers, youtube.com/Ross Tucker NFL, we always round robin the teaser legs, right? So I've got the Rams and the Commanders, the Rams and the Bills, Commanders and Bills, all of those so far. What about the Patriots getting 6 points against the Cardinals, Steve? The total is 46. This will be my game for CBS on Sunday.
Yeah, a couple quick notes. DraftKings has the best teaser odds in the world. 6 points -120. Vegas is higher. So do your teasers at DraftKings. Don't do it somewhere else where it's more expensive. Arizona let me down. They disappointed me. I'm going to air one grievance. I've got nothing on this game. My grievance is Arizona is not 3 games behind Seattle. They're 2 games behind, and they don't have the tie breaks. Thus, they're 2 1/4 games behind, not 3 games behind. And the media has gotten fond of saying that, and it's just so wrong at every level. I'm glad I got that off my chest.
Why is it so wrong at every level?
Because if they make up 2.5 games, let's say they tie and their opponent loses, and then they pick up 2 more games, they'll win the division. So they can't pick up 2.5 games and be 3 games behind and win the division.
Got it. The tie. People aren't thinking about the tie, but the tie is a real thing.
But if they pick up 3 games, then they're going to win. They're not going to tie for the division. They're going to win the division because they're going to have 1 more win. So they're not 3 games behind.
Good point. All right. Packers, Seahawks. Packers are laying 2.5 on the road Sunday night. Totals 46.5.
Yeah, at +3, and this line has just flickered back and forth. I love Seattle +3. Wait for it, shop around. If it goes back to +3, bet Seattle.
Right now it's +2.5, which means I love the Seahawks as a teaser leg up to +8.5. They're my 4th teaser leg this week. They're pretty good. I watched every snap of them against the Cardinals, prepping for Cardinals and Patriots, and Seahawks took it to them up front, both sides of the ball. Geno's playing well. I was impressed. All right, I didn't even realize this, Steve, till right now. We have not 1 but 2 Monday night football games. Bears at the Vikings, Falcons at the Raiders. We'll start with Bears at the Vikings. The Bears are +7, totals 43.5.
You know, I actually make this game 9 on my power rating, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to add a teaser with the Vikings. The Vikings are going to win this game, so I'm going to tease the Vikings in with my teaser cornucopia.
Totally agree. We're teasing the Vikings together down to -1. We're not going through the 7, but we're still going through the 3. Man, I can't imagine if the Vikings lose to that team I just saw play on Sunday, the Bears, that would stun me the way both these teams are playing. That's my 5th teaser leg this week. Minnesota -1. Then we got the Falcons and the Raiders. Falcons are laying 4.5 on the road. Totals 44. We don't know who the quarterback will be for the Raiders right now. Aiden O'Connell has a bone bruise. It could be a Desmond Ridder revenge game, Steve.
It could be. And so because of that, normally I'd be concerned about the quarterback. The Raiders have been missing their starting center, Andre James, the last 2 games. He'll be back. That's important. The Raiders, when they got smashed by Tampa Bay, they had a center quarterback fumble, which did not help them at all. So that's good news for the Raiders. Absolutely. I'm on the Raiders 2 units.
Steve, I don't know if you've ever heard of Masterclass, but they have a new class called Bet Smart, Top Sports Betting Strategies. I think for a lot of our listeners or people checking us out on YouTube, it would be awesome. They tell you how to stop guessing and make smarter bets, how to bet like a sharp, like you often talk about here on the show, Steve. A lot of guys that people will recognize, Nick Costos, my buddy from You Better You Bet, Rob Pizzola, Joe Fortenbaugh. Here's the deal, okay? Masterclass always has great offers during the holidays, sometimes up to as much as 50% off. Head over to masterclass.com/even for their current offer. That's up to 50% off at masterclass.com/even. Masterclass.com/even. Remember, all sports betting involves risk, and you are responsible for complying with all sports betting laws in your jurisdiction.
It is the holiday season, which means it's time to hang out with family and friends, drink Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka and an official vodka partner of the NFL. So many opportunities this year to make football games even more delicious as you watch them. We already had Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Now we've got Christmas, these Saturday games coming up. Please drink responsibly. Smirnoff #21 vodka, distilled from grain, 40% alcohol by volume. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Please do not share with anyone under legal drinking age. Smirnoff. We do game days.
Raiders 2 units plus 4.5. I'm with you on that one as well. The Falcons are in a bad way right now. I mean, they might win the game, but I can't picture them to come out and blow them away. Boy, Steve, sometimes we get criticized for not having enough bets. I'm looking at me right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bets. 13
Did we cover Dallas, Carolina, or that line isn't up yet?
Why am I not seeing it? I skipped it. Sorry, that was an accident. All right, Dallas +1 against Carolina totals 43.5.
All right, absolutely not. Carolina is playing very well under Dave Canales. In fact, they just played 3 straight playoff teams down to the wire. Contenders, the Chiefs, Tampa Bay, and Philly. And now Dallas has the dream crusher. Yeah, they had almost no chance. Now they got no chance. Carolina's going to win this game. And all we have to do is lay -1, 100%. Carolina, 3 units.
Wow. Another 3-unit bet from Steve. You just don't see this. 2 3-unit bets from Steve. This one on the Carolina Panthers. Man, I can't do it. I think there's a lot of logic there. I like where you're coming from. Still feels like a toss-up game. You're right. The Cowboys could very much come out and lay an egg after the way that Monday night game went for them. It wouldn't shock me if they and Overshone suffered a major injury. He's like their second best player behind Micah Parsons on defense. So I like your logic there. I'll just say it's a heavy lean for me. You know what? Forget it. Carolina, -1, 1 unit. I don't feel as strongly as Steve with the 3 units, but I'll put 1 unit on. I think there's a pretty good chance they win the game as well. Check him out on social media. He's the man at Fezzik Sports. I'm at Ross Tucker NFL. We are at Ross Tucker Pod. Make sure you get all these bets. There's a lot of them this week in black and white. Patreon.com/RT Media. Save yourself the time. Patreon.com/RT Media.
Thanks for tuning in to Even Money. Make sure to also check out the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, Fantasy Feast, and College Draft, all on the DraftKings Network, YouTube, or subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform.